Welcome back, everyone. We are going straight into Game 2 here as we jump into MLG Antigua Shipyard. Heart doing the 1-1-1 over HUK, and HUK not able to hold.
But ladies and gentlemen in the crowd, let's hear it. Who thinks that HUK can come back from this? Give a cheer. Oh, you beautiful people.
Still the fan favorite.
So HUK chose Antigua Shipyard. Man, that, I don't know, I guess because of the further ground distance. I'm not sure how it compares to Metalopolis. Clearly, he doesn't want to have to deal with that again. I still think that he absolutely could have taken it, but let's see here. Playing as the Red Protoss, currently 0-1 in the series. He's going to have to fight for his life here. Let's hear it for EGHuk. And his opponent took a surprising game 1 as the Blue Terran representing Team Complexity. We have Heart.
Poor Heart.
Man, his heart, his beating heart baby.
Indeed, indeed. So now I want to see, is Heart going to do something? We really haven't seen his fleshed out play. You know, 1-1-1 is such like a generic build that people do in this matchup, and I want to really see kind of what he can do as a player. You look at someone like Marine King. He's known for his just his overall control in this matchup, and Heart kind of fell back on that standard 1-on-1. Of course, it was just a great choice because it did get him the game 1. We'll see what he's going to do here in game 2.
MKP's got like sick control in every single matchup. That's actually, that's like his crowning achievement.
That is true. That is
or
true.
credit. So HUK throwing down his 13-gate standard. Oh man, it's going to be so surprising if Heart gets through this. Now, even if Heart takes this match against HUK, he has a difficult road ahead of him because he's going to have to play against everybody else in Pool C. Oh yeah, HUK loves you.
Yep. There is the Heart from HUK. Even after losing that game 1, still has the courage to throw down that Heart.
Well, I mean, of course he does. Well, where else does your courage come from, JP? Haven't you ever seen The Wizard of Oz?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Wonderful.
See the probe coming in for HUK, and not going to see anything out of the ordinary. Does see that refiner, so he's not going to be expecting a 1-Rax expand out of the Terran player Heart. Meanwhile, HUK is just now throwing his core. We'll see. I think he's probably just going to do exactly what he did last game, where he gets that robotic facility and then expands from that. It's just the safe thing to do. You can respond appropriately to your opponent. He knew exactly what was coming the entire last game. It's just he was not able to really defend against that second attack.
Well, and he had the tools to defend it. Like it wasn't an issue of him being unprepared. It wasn't a build order loss by any stretch of the imagination. It was just, I guess, ultimately misplay out of HUK. Now, HUK, meanwhile, has been keeping up on his probe production. He currently has 18 probes to the 16 of Heart, and he's just about to pass him by a little bit more. Now, Heart's getting up here to get a little bit of information out of HUK. Now, Heart has chosen to do something a little different this game. He added on a second Rax. He's also adding on a reactor a little bit sooner than in the previous game.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be going for a 2-Rax pressure build here. And what is HUK up to? He's going for the one. He's skipping the robotics facility this time and just going straight for that Nexus first. Now, do have a little bit of an update. Naniwal actually just took out JYP, winning 2-0 in that pool. So,
oh wow.
Yeah, Naniwal fans out there are going to be happy about that.
Yeah, Naniwa's got to start getting some wins under his belt in that group, or else he's going to have be in a rough spot. Because I think that was the Hey Pro group, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, so Tech Lab going down, and we'll see how he wants to approach this. Going straight for the concussive shells upgrade, so maybe an early push coming out of Heart.
Now, even if that early push, actually, this heavy early infantry push could potentially decimate HUK. He only has 2 gates out, just added on a 3rd gateway. And Warp Gate obviously isn't finished quite yet, but he's also started making his Robo, and he's almost guaranteed to start that with an Observer. Now, as Heart waits for his concussive shell to finish and some Marauders to get out there, he's going to have a comfortable window of opportunity because HUK has just invested so much in that Nexus.
We do have this one Stalker out for HUK just scouting around, and will Heart decide to move out here? Concussive Shells finishes, immediately starts Stem, and yes, he will move out with only 2 Marauders in this little force.
Ooh, and now Heart being very smart, assuming that HUK likely has that center watchtower controlled. Man, and HUK, for some reason, his spidey sense, pulling that Stalker out of the center of the map, even before Heart goes and dodges it.
Now the Observer's actually just going straight to the main base of Heart. I do not think he's going to see this army whatsoever. Huck might be taken by surprise here. Does have the Immortal coming out though, not getting that second Observer. And he also warps in 3 Zealots here, but that's going to be a lot to deal with for Huck.
Oh, now Hart hasn't followed up by bringing his units. Okay, now he's starting to bring them around the bottom side of the map. A couple of them were just hanging out. Oh, the Observer crosses over 2 of the Marines, but is Huck going to assume that there's already a lot of stuff up there? We can see Huck has some of his units all the way in the back of his base. So, oh man, and now Hart's getting into a nice position. He's already thrown down the bunker, taking down one of those pylons. It does not quite supply block Huck, but he won't be able to warp in units because he doesn't have anything to warp in. That's only 1 supply.
Oh, and that's so smart there from Hart. He sees that Immortal and immediately cancels that bunker and backs off. But now he's actually going to return and try to take out some of those Zealots. The Immortal will deal so much damage, focusing down the Marauders there. And he's getting a couple shots on it, but still being very wary of completely engaging that army. It looks like that's going to be it.
Even though he had Concussive Shell, if he stopped to try to attack the Immortal, the Zealots just could have destroyed his Marines, and then he absolutely would have lost that whole army. And now, what ends up happening is that Huck is actually just up a base pretty much free, and he's not going to be terribly vulnerable to this heavy infantry play out of Hart.
Yeah, we do have Hart finishing his command center here in the main as well as a factory. I would suspect he's going to go straight up to Medivacs as Stim just now finishing. There is the starport being started. Probably going to see a reactor. There it goes on the factory. So we're going to see a follow-up attack from this as Hart is moving in once again right now.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see if Hart has some sick drop skills.
And he's stimming 1 Marine up, trying to bait a force fill, but looks like the rest of those forces will just take it out. And Hart, again, still not wanting to engage just yet.
Yeah, he just wants to get over and find out how many forces are in front of that base, whether or not he's going to be able to push up there. He's also eliminating the destructible rocks so that if Huck ends up trying to take that third, it's going to be slightly more vulnerable. There's also ways that you could potentially bait out the Protoss army so that you could then surprise come down from the third there and pincer him in the center of the map. As long as you get that Immortal without the Zealots, he's going to be in a much better position. But of course, Huck has all of the information and knows exactly what Hart's doing.
There is a robotics bay coming down, which means those all-important Colossus are coming out, but they do cost so much. If Hart can get in there as that is building and Huck's army is somewhat weakened in that sense, then he's going to be able to deal a lot of damage. We have those 2 Medivacs coming out here. Combat shields about to be finished, and the floating factory to distract those Stalker shots. If they are on attack move in the back, it's going to help a lot. This is kind of the weakened state, the timing that Hart wants to hit right here, as he's adding on gateways and also chrono boosting off that Colossus.
You can also make makeshift walls with that factory. That's been some of the sickest plays as of late. As long as you can just stop the Zealots from connecting with your squishy units, that can give you just the edge that you need. Pull ahead. Oh man, yes, and Huck is going for the pickup, or excuse me, Hart is going for the pickup into Huck's base. Now, Huck's got some well-placed pylons. He's also left some Stalkers back there. And as long as he doesn't move these Stalkers in his base away, oh wow, using the factory to distract the 4 Stalkers, but Hart has stopped controlling his Medivacs, unfortunately.
And we also see a lot more Stalkers being warped into the main. 2 Medivacs are now going all the way to the back here, somewhat distracted by the units on the ground. The drop is about to land right now. We see immediately pylons being dropped here in the back. That is so smart from Huck. He's going to restrict the movement of those Marauders and Marines. He's immediately going to have to pick up.
That was the sickest response from Huck. He was potentially vulnerable, but he just thwarts Huck. Thwarts Huck. God. Yeah, that the other player.
Indeed, indeed. Now we have ground weapons level 1 here. And he looks like he's just chrono boosting the Colossus at the moment. Actually, chrono boosting both of them now. Getting that upgrade is going to prove very, very important. And we need some Vikings out here for Hart. We already have 2 on the way, but at this point, we see the tech advantage in favor of Huck.
Absolutely, and Hart is going to be under some serious pressure. He's got to get more than 2 Vikings out there ASAP, because as soon as Huck hits that 3 Colossus mark, he really won't be able to engage.
Now we see as Hart is just adding on more and more bio forces here. He's got to get so many Vikings out, like we were just mentioning. We see cannons being added on now in the main base. Really still fearful of these drops from Hart, as it looks like Huck is deciding to move out right now with this 2 Colossus push.
And now he has the third Colossus. It should hopefully be able to meet up with him. And now Heart is in a potential situation where he'll have to engage with only 2 Vikings. A couple more get out there, and now we see that Huk is going in there with the forward pylons. And this could be a huge hit. We also see that drop up in the main of Huk, but Huk is doing a great job defending it. And now the push continues.
Yeah, and this is a great timing here for Huk, but those pylons already down. He can morph in so fast here and reinforce this. Here's the stem forward, Force Field Fade drop, splitting that army. 2 Vikings remain, but Huk is just destroying this. Good game. Huk bringing it back, and we're going to game 3.
Yeah, and the battle actually did not even have to finish there. He knew that as soon as he saw the Colossus count and just how low his Viking count was, he was caught off guard. He tried dropping some forces around the back, but Huk just said no.
I think that Artosis and Tasteless were actually watching that game over on the analysis desk, guys. Oh, looks like they're not ready,
kidding.
actually. Just kidding, just kidding. So anyways, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, it's going to be the deciding game here to see who's going to take this match between Huk and Heart. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.